Yo, what is up, guys? Coolboy1912 here, and we are doing a podcast today that will be discussing why World of Tanks has been dying lately over the past year, and then we'll go and talk about the Polish tanks, how they may be better or for worse during the game. So, I have VC Fallen here and Inferno. So, what do you guys
What's up?
think of
Yes.
the game so far? Are they going in the right direction, or is there anything that you think they should change?
VCU first.
I mean, I really haven't seen much change besides from, new premiums like the Mercy tanks. That was, a pretty good start, but the whole grinding aspect sometimes is mainly not as fun doing it compared to like doing another tier line. But I can see why it's going downhill because, it's the same content over. It's like, it's like compare like Destiny and World of Tanks, same concept, left and right, grinding
Right,
for
but
hours.
hold on.
Really
They're both empty games, though. Like, you gotta be honest with yourself. Like, Destiny, I've been a Destiny fan since year one, but I just totally lost that Warmind. I could not hold it. But my whole thing, my opinion on what World of Tanks right now is it's totally going downhill. They totally dropped the ball on multiple occasions. And this is just my opinion. I still enjoy playing the game, but that's just the way the game's set up. But they never wanted to expand upon their formula they had. They tried war stories, but I believe they did it in a very bad way. I
Well,
understood
yeah, they
what
could've
they were
better
going
implemented
for with the
war
whole Dark
stories.
Horse comics. But yeah, it's just the live action trailer, I guess if you want to call it that, before it was really cool. The whole way they changed
Looked
it,
promising.
the mercenaries was kind of cool too. Yeah, it looked promising, and then they started it, and you got in, and it was like, God, I don't know if this is really what I was expecting, and it was very repetitive, and it got frustrating at times with no save points, and, the things with campaigns that make you love them, Halo 2, COD Black Ops 2, just, very great campaign stories. There's many out there.
Well,
But
again,
it
this
was
is a
missing
free
that, and I
game.
know you don't really expect. Yeah, I was just about to say that you don't really expect that with a free game. But at the same time, they didn't put any kind of thought into it.
Well,
Like they got, your average run-in-the-mill amateur writer threw him in there. And was like, all right, good luck. And put him in a room for 10 hours with his ankle chained to an iron ball with the
okay,
pin with only half the lead in it, or
okay, well,
ink.
yeah, I understand what you kind of mean there, because Wargaming has been around technically for 10 years, the game's been up for 8, and, I don't know, gameplay-wise, the game is changing. I know on PC now they're getting wheeled vehicles. I don't know how long that'll be till we get
Man.
those, but, they do
Oh,
look like...
it's got at least 3 years. We
Well-
get farther and farther behind.
Well, actually, no. World of Tanks, the Polish tanks, didn't actually launch until 5 months ago. The tech tree for
Well,
PC.
what about the Italian tanks?
Italians? They
'Cause
just
those
launched
were,
not too long
those
ago.
were before.
Mm,
I believe those were before Polo, weren't they? I don't play PC, so I wouldn't know.
yeah,
Sinclair before Polish, definitely.
yeah. I know the
Yeah.
Polish Premium came first, but I think
Mhm.
they kind of mess with everyone by
Yeah,
releasing.
one of the two. One of the
Italians.
two.
Anywho, with World of Tanks console
Right.
in regard of that, I think personally what's kind of destroying the game and what made me leave it for a while was that, well, they're still doing this now, but here I am still playing the game.
Right, yeah.
They brought
I know, same.
they've kind of overpriced tanks a little bit. Like if you look at the Alpine Tiger,
Oh,
even when they're on
yeah,
sale
for
for Black
sure.
Friday, it's still a $150 tank, and then it's
It's
just
ridiculous. I totally agree. It's the scumminess of EA just combined all in one big, moldy, black, hairy ball that is World of Tanks, and it's really kind of disappointing. Just the scumminess of it. And, free games have to make money in some way. You look at Fortnite, it's all
Yeah,
cosmetic,
but
but with this game, it's not
at the
really
beginning-
cosmetic,
at the
is
beginning,
it?
$50 could get you. I remember when they were still on Xbox 360, right? This was before all the big bundles and stuff that they were doing.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Tanks, you
50
could
bucks could get you a tier 8,
Well,
yeah.
the bundle, no, you could get way more. So with the bundle, I
Or-
remember for
yeah, the
Xbox One
bundle.
launch,
Yeah, no, I
they
know
gave
what-
you
I
a
know what you're
$50
talking about.
bundle
Yeah.
that came with the T95 E2, a tier 8 medium
Mhm.
tank that's really good. The
Right.
Tier 6 AMX Chaffee, which is now Tier 7 because, destroy all the fun tanks in the game. And then,
Right.
just the Tier 3 MTLSG1, but that's now a free tank that they're giving away with giveaways, which is it's kind of annoying in a way, because...
Yeah, especially if you bought it early.
Yeah. And speaking of which, like, premium tanks and stuff like that and premium matchmaking, what do you guys think about the new platoon system where premium matchmaking doesn't apply really?
Not a fan.
And you can't use...
Not a fan.
You have to use the same tier vehicle. I know, that's kind of annoying to me that you can't, like... I miss the days of bringing a Churchill 1 into Tier 10 games. Or something else.
Those were the best. Or like KV2 into Tier 9 games.
Yeah, just...
Those were so much fun.
Like, I had,
sure.
like, if you had the Chaffee or AMX Chaffee, you could do stupid games like that, and it was just fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I don't know why exactly they thought it was a good idea to do that by any means. I mean, I'm glad they fixed the whole light tank thing, where light tanks would always get up tiered, and there was just no competitiveness in it besides running around like a chicken without
I
its
didn't
head.
like the update for light tanks. It annoyed me because I enjoyed my Tier 8 light tanks, like the AMX 1390.
Right.
But when they nerfed it and then put it up to a Tier 9, like, I'm pretty sure it feels slower at least. And if it isn't, well, the gun isn't up to it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, the gun, dude, the gun it's just got a 4-clip shell loader now. It's just 4 shells that you can shoot. And that's a 90 mil, which at Tier 8, it used to have a like a 6 shell 90 millimeter gun that had the same stats.
Yeah. I just feel like the nerfs and buffs are getting very, very unbalanced. Like, we were talking the other day about the Russian heavies that just came out.
Yeah.
And we're not very big on what they're doing with those.
Well,
like, yes, you can kill them, but frontally, they're insane.
Well,
and
I mean, like,
honestly,
it's fine
in
when
my
you have
opinion, they're not
one
very
tank, like
fair.
the IS-7 was okay, right? It was okay to be the godfather of everything. I know, VC, you got a little upset when they nerfed your speed there, but nothing else.
Okay, you can't complain about the IS-7 speed without mentioning the super Pershing speed. Because that went, I remember when I first got the tank, probably 2 years ago, 2.5, and you could easily get up to 36, and I was just on El Alamein last match, or 2 matches ago actually, in the super Pershing. Yeah. And oh my god, I'm topping out at 13 kilometers an hour. It's just unacceptable. I'm slower than a T95 now.
Well,
with
T95
an awful
did get a
gun,
speed bug.
with very...
yeah, but like, what,
I remember the memes, like, where it's like, T95 rolls into battle, but when you start going up a hill, might as well go make a bowl of soup or something like that, come back, because by the time by the time you make it to the top of the hill, either the enemy's capping your base, or your team has won the game. There's
I've gone completely down that line, and I will, like, I'm gonna vouch for the T95 here. I will say that is probably one of the most fun tanks I've ever played. Because the feeling of unpenetrableness, and the feeling of being a fortress with the biggest ass American gun on it, is just unmatchable. It's really fun to play, but I do agree they did need to buff the speed just to make it a little more competitive. But on urban maps, it was a blast.
Yeah, like city maps.
Yeah.
But I do have to agree, they have been, like, even though as much as I hate to say this, they have made some tanks a little overpowered. Like the Tiger 8.8.
Yeah. Yeah. You were just using that yesterday.
Giving it more armor than the Tier 9 counterpart. Now, just because no one plays it.
Yeah.
But I do that some of them were smart buffs, like the 112 getting a new buff on its turret.
No, I agree. Yeah. Some of them were very, justified. The AMX 30B upgrading that mantlet, that was a huge change in playstyle for me using it. Because you could just sit behind a hill and just soak up so much damage in it. It was really crazy and a lot of fun. But, there have been good buffs, but there have also been some not so very justified buffs with a lot of the tanks. But, some say it's Russian bias, some say it's German bias. Like, who the fuck knows at this point?
I'm gonna stay with Russian, just because
I'm gonna stay with Russian too. My gut is telling me it's Russian bias.
That's who develops the game. what's it called? What do you guys think of the war chests? Like, I know that they were removed, but what do you think would happen if they added that as a permanent feature?
Okay, you know what? They can be a permanent feature, but I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I'm still mad about those. I'm now up to $60 with war chest spending money, and I still have not got anything good. It's the worst RNG type of anything. Yeah,
That's the thing. That's the other thing with this game that I hate so much. The RNG is total crap. I can't stand the RNG in this game.
It's always been crap. I just never
always
liked it.
that. I think that's what has killed World of Tanks. We're changing the topic here to how has RNG killed World of Tanks? Because I guarantee you, it's happened to everyone. Everyone who's watching this podcast who has played World of Tanks and doesn't anymore, and is thinking right now that. He's right. Inferno's right. They did screw me over with RNG. It's so... I mean, if you actually think about it, like, the times that all of us have, like, taken breaks from World of Tanks and come back, we're like, oh yeah, that's why I left the game. RNG is giving me low rolls all the time, or I can't get a premium out of a war chest or whatever.
Well, I think what killed it for me wasn't RNG. What killed it for me at one point was, like, I don't know, when you play a game on end, like... As much as I did at one point, like, I was playing, maybe, I was probably able to do, like, the long haul op if it was back in the day when I was really enjoying the game, because I played it 24/7, when I woke up, until I fell asleep, every single day, I would play World of Tanks, and it was fun, because I got the Amex 50B, so even if RNG tried to screw me over,
yeah, the grind is very fun, for sure. If you're able to
grind is always fun.
Grind is fun, but then there is just some tanks, Chinese tank destroyers, okay? Hear me out. Those things are knockoff Russian.
No! I don't like them, they're not good. It's like, look at the tier 10. Look at the tier 10. It's just a giant McDonald's had a meal box. That's all
I remember when people when they added those tanks. They're like, we added a new line, and they're like, wait, what? What they add? Huh? Huh? What?
What? No one cared. No one cared.
Yeah, no one
cared. They
cared.
made it so obscure, and then, they made it so obscure. They didn't really tell anyone about it. There was no hype around it either. It was just, no one really acknowledged that they were coming in the game, and they didn't deserve to be acknowledged either. I mean, you never see them that much in games.
They're like
you'll occasionally see the tier 8, but that's it.
See, the Chinese tank destroyers are like that one no one likes to talk to. He says one thing, they look at him, but an hour later to go away. Is that kid retarded?
Yeah, I know. So
it's like this. Can we copy your homework, Russia? Sure, but make it look different. That'd be something.
I know, but that's alright. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me about all the new Russian tanks. They're all blueprint tanks. Like, why so many? Where are they finding these?
Well, that's what they did with the Polish tech tree. So I'm gonna move it over to try to move
that's
it over
true,
there.
but
because we are now at the halfway
I guess
mark.
I guess to transfer topic. All right, that's fair.
Because to be honest, we've been talking about how terrible this game is for 12 minutes.
This game is. we each probably combined we probably have 10,000. No, I want to say 10,000.
Like we have
5,000
so much more
hours
things that we could talk about and discuss in later
Yeah.
podcasts, but for now, we're talking why it died in popularity and the Polish tanks, if they can fix or break the game. So let's.
Well, after we talk about Polish tanks, I want to get back into the popularity tangent because I just thought of some other points that probably correspond to the decreasing popularity.
Well, I really wanted to get someone on here that, like I said, Red, King Red Tiger Tank, because he did YouTube for this as well, but he quit entirely. Like he just uninstalled one day and stopped uploading, and he actually had a good amount of subs, but he left the game, and I wanted to get him on here, but sadly he's not online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I also have a friend that used to play this game as well, and I was talking to him about it. He's like, I never spent a dime on the game, and I had so much experience. However, what killed it for me was the silver, because he didn't have premium tanks, because he didn't spend any money on the game.
You got to think about it this way.
So
if you don't have premium tanks and spending silver, you have to be a lot more crucial with it, and you got to really think. Like every bit of silver kind of counts, because you can use it to buy new tanks, tank upgrades. Like for me in VC at least, since we play a lot and we've put a lot of money into this game, large amounts that probably wouldn't want to share in public.
I put a good amount, but nowhere near. how
Nah.
much
Yeah,
you
we probably
guys
want
have.
to.
Let's
We
not
wouldn't want
talk
to share that
about
number in
that.
public. Just 66 premiums.
Especially over YouTube. Especially,
Yeah.
yeah.
42 premiums.
And,
Yeah.
we both have
Toy over
retarded
here at
amounts of
60
premiums.
I only have 6.
Well, when I first started getting premium line, because I don't really like buying them, but I don't want to use my silver to buy a tier that my friend has, and I don't. So, like
Yeah.
around this time is where the Swedish tanks were coming out. So I'm like, oh snap! So I want some silver, so I bought a couple of those premiums. This is how I,
Yeah.
But plus, if you buy the premiums, it helps you get your silver even more. I mean, yeah, I could buy the normal tank, but why buy the normal tank when you get the premium version? It makes you double more of the money, like the black tanks. The 5 times more experience and all that.
Yeah, I bought.
But yeah, I mean,
I bought those because
expensive.
that was definitely worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
'cause they haven't
if
sold
they
them
ever
for
come,
2
if they
years.
ever
See,
come
but
back out.
that whole point brings up another point I wanted to bring up, is that this game is like easily pay to win with the premium tanks. Like you can't deny it. I mean, we've been dodging the elephant.
Well, it's
in
not
the
pay
room
to win.
for so
It's just
long.
it.
Well,
It is.
no,
Coy.
no,
It
so
is,
what
Coy.
I
If
think
you
pay to
have a
win
premium
is, so
tank,
is-
it's easier to get silver and experience in a premium tank.
Well,
than
yeah,
it is
no.
in a
So pay to
standard
win that's
line.
just allows you to progress faster, is what I believe. And
Okay, but all these other games, if you look at all these other games with loot boxes and different like actual
Yeah,
pay to
but
win
that's-
things
that's-
that are
it's
not
still- if,
aesthetic,
let's say you
they
have
get so
a-
much crap for it, and the World of Tanks is not getting crap for it. So I feel like that's kind of unfair, and that's been allowing wargaming to get away with these really stingy practices.
well, perhaps that's why
in
they
World
removed
of
them,
Warships
because
and World of
some
Tanks.
other people, what's it called? They're now taking it. I believe some government is. I believe it's ours. Is the CIA or something's looking
I
into
would not
them.
be surprised.
Looking into it
I
to
would
see
not
how
be
this is
surprised.
gambling and how it could possibly be affecting
Well,
children.
no,
to
I think
teach
they're
them.
looking into that with either Fallout 76 or something with EA.
Well, not with us. Yeah,
one of
different
the
game.
two.
Because they don't want children becoming
Right.
addicted, and it may become illegal in more countries than it already is.
That or
Because it already is
Fortnite.
illegal.
I could see that. Well, I guess it's not really gambling in Fortnite because it's just skins, but yeah.
Well, Fortnite's also
Unless
pay
you're
to
selling,
win.
you could
Well,
sell
unless they're selling
skins
loot
online for that
boxes,
game, I
it's
guess.
not gambling. And it's
Yeah,
just,
loot boxes is different for
Ac-
sure. 'Cause that is
well, there
actual
is there
gambling.
is one game that is basically gambling, but that's not the topic for this stream. But
yeah.
Yeah, we should probably just move on to Polish tanks.
Yes, because
well,
just
I
wrap
have
it up.
Polish tank. I do have the Polish tanks pulled up right now. I can see they look like the Polish tanks look okay in my
I've
opinion.
played
I'm gonna
them, so-
kindly-
I played them on PC.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
The-
Yeah, I played a little bit of them. I didn't play
I've
too
never
much
played
of
them
them.
on PC.
The only
so
thing,
I'm
the only
gonna be
thing is,
totally
like,
new
they're a
to
lot
this.
like the Russian tanks, right?
Mhm.
They're I don't know, they're not slow, but they're not fast. They have lots of armor, and
Right,
it's
like medium.
already pre-angled for you on majority of it. But that's once you get up to the higher
Right.
tiers, like tier 8 and above. Lower tiers. Well, I guess the turrets
Yeah.
are kind of like the tier 10. Like they almost play like the tier 7 has a really sloped turret, so it's almost like playing like an Object 140 or something like that. But at where it's at tier, like comparison. Not saying it's like as good as a tier 10. Just saying it's got a similar play style like that. It's got a good turret and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you have the low tiers, which are just easily penetrated. But for
Right, so it's similar to the Swedish tanks, basically, where the higher you get,
Yes.
the better armor.
yeah, and another thing
So-
I want to take a hunch on here is, like, I know they give us a free tank every year for Christmas, right? And
Right.
PC, they got a Polish tier 2 tank destroyer for free, not too, like, maybe last year I think it was.
TKS DN kilometer 290mm.
Yeah, the little tiny tier 2,
But-
the glass cannon. That's the little machine gun.
That
think-
is actually a light tank on the Xbox.
It is?
Is it? Wait,
yes, it's
what?
considered a light tank.
Well, it's not out in the game, is it? Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, I'm
That's
looking
not
at
how
them.
it is.
Yeah, wait,
I'm
it's
looking
in the
at-
files.
yeah,
That's
you're looking at the forums.
yes.
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
so I was saying that's probably going to be the one we get for Christmas this year, just because it's a Polish tank. And remember,
Yes,
last year they did the
I
Swedish
see
tank,
everything.
the Tumult, or however I'm going to mispronounce this, the T60 thing, the tier 2. But what also annoys me with the Polish tanks is they pre-released Polish premiums that, Like I know they do this on PC too, but it just kind of annoyed me that they released those so that I don't want to buy them because I know they're gonna be in the tech tree, but I kind of
Yeah.
I feel obligated to so I can train up a Polish crew in those before the Polish tanks drop, so I can have like a crew with 5 or 6 crew skills before the tanks come out.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel
I
about them
understand where
launching
you're going
premium
with this.
tank versions of Nation before the actual Nation tech tree is out?
Truth behold, the 50p is a normal tank in the tree,
Yeah.
but it's tier 9. But tier 9 version is actually better than tier 8.
Well, no. They also have the premium. So the tier 8 one is a prototype version of the tier 9, and
Yeah, I know.
but since they
I'm looking at them right now.
whenever you make so what pisses me off about them is when they release them right before the Nation's out, the tech tree, they know people want to get their hands on the first Polish tank so that they can say they have Polish tanks before everyone else, and they charge you way more than the tank's actually worth, because I'm pretty sure the Polish one was being charged like maybe $55 when it's really worth like
I think it was
45 or something like that, but they know they can overprice it because they know people will still buy it because it's the first of its kind.
Once again, back to the stingy practices they're doing. So it all comes full circle, really, with the Polish tanks. It's just, I feel like releasing more lines isn't going to get people to come back to the game. I get that they're doing fresh things with this. I mean,
Yeah.
not to bring it,
And with the
not
commander
to
mode,
like
another
leave the whole Polish
new
thing, but yeah, just it's. I don't think the game's super recoverable at this point to where it was like, let's say 3-4 years ago
yeah.
when it was probably at its peak.
Well, I was saying
I mean,
2 years ago.
Wargaming obviously makes a ton of money still,
Yeah.
but it's really it's hard to tell really if it's a recoverable franchise. I mean, of course there's always going to be people who will play it, like with any game like CS:GO or something, like not as popular as it used to be, but still has people who play it and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's just, I feel like it's too early to tell at the moment.
Well, I personally think that if they do take back, like I was talking about this on my YouTube channel, like I think the video was called Wargaming We Need to Talk now, and like it was
Mhm.
talking about when they released the Black Friday tanks, and it was also, I was already pissed off about the Halloween bundle where it was over $150 because no one's
Well,
gonna want to
wasn't
spend
there a
that
bundle
much.
that was like $400 or something
Yeah.
that some YouTuber did? I don't have I don't know if you need to cite sources or anything, Koi, but there was a video I saw where this guy was reviewing something on PC, and I'm pretty sure it was um it was a can't remember. It was sorry. I was just trying to find it at the moment, but it was like a $400 package of, I believe,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
20
came out
premium
actually
tanks.
last year. I think it would cost a little bit more than 400. I think it was around 600 because I remember a
Yeah,
comment on it
something.
was
It
about
was like
around
a ton of
600.
Yeah, it was a ton of really rare tanks that people would like look for to collect, but at the same time, it seems like a huge waste of money to me.
But people did
'Cause
buy them though. They have confirmed that people actually bought that bundle.
I mean, obviously, people must love the crap out of this game to
Yeah.
buy something like that. Because if you think of what you could buy with $600, it's quite a bit.